安いもんだ。腕の一本ぐらい。無事でよかった。
Hey my dear pirates, you are on channel Straw Hat's One Piece Theories, and in today's video we're going to talk about how Luffy can do something amazing using the awakened powers of his devil fruit, which is the creation or alteration of members of his own body as well as the body of other characters, such as a new arm for Shanks. What I want to say is, could Luffy go beyond creating simple glasses, or maybe a sword, and be able to create an arm, a leg, or something like that? Guys, have you ever wondered if Luffy would be able to change not only the environment and his own body, but also the body of others? Is this the limit of Luffy's powers? Well, we're going to analyze all this in today's video. So if you want to be a pirate king like me and achieve eternal glory, go ahead and press the like button with all the power of your devil fruit. And if you're new here my dear sailor, already subscribe to the channel and don't forget to activate the notifications bell so you don't miss any new video, okay? Then join this crew that will dominate the entire Grand Line and the New World. Now without further ado, let's get to this epic video. And well my dear pirate, since Luffy awakened the powers of his devil fruit in the fight against Kaido, many questions ended up arising about what were the limits of Luffy's powers. After all, as much as many people don't like it, it is a fact that Luffy's current powers clearly refer to a cartoon character where the limits of his accomplishments practically do not exist. I already made some videos trying to find a limit for these powers, but after I saw Luffy create glasses from his own hair in his fight against Rob Lucci, I literally started to believe that in fact Luffy's powers might not have a limit, to the point where he can even create a sword for Zoro if he wants to. And this idea has spread not only by me. Many people already believe that Luffy can not only create things like glasses and, who knows, swords, but they are also starting to question whether our dear captain of the Straw Hats would not be able to, who knows, create a new arm for Shanks, for example. Would that then be the limits of Luffy's powers with Gear 5? Well, to try to answer this very complex question, first we have to go back to Luffy's fight against Kaido, which was where we saw the birth of Luffy's Hito Hito no Mi awakening, the rebirth of Nika and Joy Boy, the birth of the long-awaited Gear 5. In that fight we saw everything. Luffy did absurd things, he changed the environment, he became gigantic, he held lightning in his hands, he played jumping ropes with Kaido's body in his dragon form, and on top of that he managed to run even though he was in midair. But the most interesting part to answer this mystery about Luffy's limits being in fact the alteration of another person's body is that in several moments of his fight against Kaido we saw that his blows somehow altered his enemy's body to the Kaido even told Luffy that his body wasn't made of rubber. But soon after, Luffy, who was inside Kaido, used his hands inside Kaido's body and made them appear through his opponent's dragon eyes, as if Kaido's eyes had turned into rubber just like Luffy did with the floor. By logic, Kaido's eyes should have been pierced, but that didn't happen because Luffy apparently managed to alter Kaido's body as he wanted. But as I'm already saying in several videos, logic, that term, doesn't apply to Luffy anymore, at least when he's using Nika's powers. In this form he does things out of reality, and it seems he really can also alter other people's bodies. And again, for those who don't like to be called Luffy's new powers Toon Force, well, even Kaido comments on this fact by saying that Luffy's deeds resembled a children's tale at the same time that he ends by asking Luffy what the show that they themselves were interesting but that their dream world was over. That is, my dear pirate, even Kaido himself made it clear that Luffy's powers are as insane as those of a cartoon, and if he does indeed have these powers he can also create absurd things such as glasses, a sword, and who knows, even an arm. Of course, all these creations would have an expiration date, but it would be interesting to see that happen. And thinking about these possibilities came to me a very interesting fan art of Luffy saving Ace from Akainu's attack there in Marineford. This art created by a fan questions what it would be like if Luffy had already awakened the power of his devil fruit in the Marineford arc, and see only, Luffy literally touches Ace with his hands and passes to him the power of his fruit. That way he can counter-attack Akainu, and so Ace would not lose his life in that battle. Of course this is just fan art and we are not going to rely on it to prove that this possibility is possible, but this kind of thinking regarding the limits of Luffy's powers is interesting. Now if we put these two capabilities together, Luffy's ability to alter even human bodies with Luffy's ability to create physical objects from Nika's powers, well, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that Luffy would be able to create an arm or a leg, for example. Actually, if he was able to do that, I really wouldn't be surprised and even have a purpose for it, like creating an arm for Shanks Shanks in a war scenario at the end of One Piece. The fact that Shanks no longer has his dominant arm means that Mihawk will never face him again, which means that Shanks may not be able to use his full potential without having both arms. I already made a video talking about it myself. I'll leave it on the pinned card for you to take a look at later. But yes, it seems Shanks is not the same without his other arm that he lost precisely to boost Luffy to be a great pirate. So seeing Luffy giving Shanks an arm, even if it was temporarily, in the middle of the last One Piece war as if it were a way of paying off a debt would be sensational. Guys, we always have to remember Road to Laugh Tale Volume 3 where it says that Luffy's powers are limited only to his imagination and only to what he understood from his fight against Kaido. That is, in other words, my dear pirate, Luffy's powers can be really limitless. Well, my dear pirate, now I want to know your opinion about everything we talked about here today. Do you think Luffy can create new body members using the full potential of Nika's power? Would Luffy be able to recreate Shanks' arm using the power of Gear 5 at its peak? But of course, if you made it this far, it's because you like the content, so it doesn't hurt to subscribe to our channel and become one more member of our fleet, my dear sailor. And of course, do not forget to press the like button, that helps a lot in spreading the video and the channel, so help us to become the largest fleet of pirates here on YouTube, okay? A big hug for everyone, and until the next video.